From Kansas City, it's time for Game 2 of today's split doubleheader between the Red Sox and the Kansas City Royals. The Sox dropping a squeaker 3-2 in Game 1 and now turn to David Price to salvage a win in this three-game series. It's a beautiful night in Kansas City. Welcome back, everybody. Great to have you with us at Kauffman Stadium. I'm Dave O'Brien alongside the Hall of Famer Dennis Eckersley. Garen Austin will be joining us as well. We are at the 40-game mark, so we're at the quarter pole. Mr. Price appeared to figure some things out mechanically and pitched extremely well against Houston 6 nights ago.
Everything's all better, huh? His velocity's back, just a little tweak in his windup. Keeps his hands up, stays behind the ball. Next thing you know, he punches out 12 guys. And, you know, if you look at his record, it's 5-1. And if you throw out the 6 ERA, you'd think everything was fine. Look at the punch-outs, 65 punch-outs, leading the league. You know, we saw the game he pitched against Houston. They do tend to strike out a lot, but still, the velocity was there. You see the success that he's had against Kansas City over the course of his career. You expect him to get another W, and that record will look as good as ever.
All right, so Mr. Price on the mound tonight trying to avoid a three-game sweep at the hands of the defending world champions here at Kauffman Stadium. And when we come back, a look at X sit-down with fellow closer Craig Kimbrel as they talk about the art of the save next from Kansas City. BuyAToyota.com, Toyota's website for deals. By Dunkin' Donuts, America runs on Dunkin'. By Subaru Retailers of New England, supplying award-winning all-wheel drive vehicles throughout New England. By DraftKings, the official one-day fantasy baseball partner of your Boston Red Sox. By the 2017 Kia Sportage, visit anykiadealers.com to learn more. By Digital Federal Credit Union, see what DCU can save you. And by Southwest Airlines, transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. Great night for baseball. We'll see if Craig Kimbrel is necessary tonight with David Price on the mound in the finale here against the Royals. But just the other day, our own Dennis Eckersley, the Hall of Famer, one of the great closers in the history of baseball, sat down with Kimbrel, and this is a nice inside look at a Craig Kimbrel you may not have known.
I started in college. I really was out of the bullpen was the first time I noticed that you know, I could pitch with the aggressiveness that I do now. And after you know, being in the bullpen a little bit in college, and I got back into the starting role, I kind of took that mentality with me into the starting role. And out of being drafted, the Braves really encouraged me to be in the bullpen. They told me it'd be a faster track to the big leagues.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
You know, hearing that's you know,
yeah.
That's what you want to do. You want to get to the big leagues, and you know, they gave me that opportunity.
Did you always have this kind of gas?
I really saw the velocity jump when I went to college, and then from college to obviously being in the bullpen, throwing with new balls.
How about the story about somebody smashed something on your foot?
Yeah, when I was in high school, I had a foot injury that I made it through going into college, and got to sit out, watch guys play for a little bit. But in that time, I built up a lot of strength, threw off my knees. I think they've written a few stories about that. I wouldn't advise that to.
But you think that had something to do with
it? It may have. I think it definitely helped me learn how to, control my upper body, not to sling the ball. I mean, when you're throwing off your knees, you really can't sling the ball too well.
Right.
So I kind of learned a little bit about mechanics and a little bit of strength as well.
I'm watching you all this time, watch you for a long, long time. Just, with all the punch outs, which, I would give anything to have all those punch outs and have that kind of gas. But I'm a big body language guy, and I don't know how you feel about this. Maybe it just sort of happens because you've got to make them think the game is over, and sometimes you really don't feel all that great, so you're not going to feel good every time you go out there. But there's something about carrying yourself the right way, and that leads into how you do it. And how did that sort of happen? You don't see too many guys going like this. How did that take on its...
I agree with the body language. Body language is so big. You don't want guys to know if you have it that day or if you don't. You don't want your warm-up pitches. You don't want the opposing team seeing you frustrated at pitches you're throwing or noticing that you're not kind of be as aggressive or you don't have your best stuff that day. There's more times than not you're going to go out there and you're not going to have your best stuff. So having the mentality, I still have to get through the inning if I have my best stuff that day or if I don't. So I just got to keep that same mentality that I'm going to be aggressive and try to get you out. It's not going to work every time, but I think if you have that mentality to attack guys, and my stuff may not be as good today, but I feel like I can still get them out.
You get nervous?
I get excited. I think there's
nice way to say.
There's scenarios that I get put in where I'm like, okay, well, I need a little bit more here, But how am I going to get that without getting too excited in the moment? How do I just focus one pitch at a time? And that's just over the last few years of being put in those spots, just slowing the game down because it doesn't start till I throw the pitch. As
we're speaking right now, there hasn't been too many clubs. I know I've been with this, on a streak like this the last 2 or 3 weeks. This is, I know it's fun, but this is like scary. Isn't it?
Absolutely. Sitting in the bullpen, you just have to sit and take it in. It's the way the offense has been swinging the bat.
Yeah.
It's never been done in history. So to be able to watch that with my own eyes, and it doesn't seem like there's a situation where our team's out of it. It seems like in Boston every night, everybody's expecting us to win by 10, and it seems like it's been that way so far to start this year.
I know you got to do it the next game. It's always the next game. So when you give it up, and you don't give it up very often. This year he gave up the home run on opening day. Davis ran into a fastball. How do you deal with failure?
Well, it's part of this game. You want to take. I'm not going to say I don't get frustrated, because if you're an athlete and you fail and you don't get frustrated, you're okay with failure. I think when I'm unsuccessful, I get more frustrated that I let the team down than personally. I feel like they went out there and they played most of the game, and my job is to come in for one inning and to get 3 outs or 4 outs, and everybody can go home happy, or we can play extra innings and try to win the game. And when they put so much into that, and I go out there and I fail, I think that's the most frustrating part for me.
Yeah, for me it was like every day I might have to pitch. It just starts getting to you after a while. The best of them.
Feels like Groundhog's Day sometimes.
It's like, whew, and then you didn't even pitch, and it's like, whew, you almost did, right?
Yeah.
That's the grinding part of it. I know physically is important too, but the mental side of this thing, it's hard to stay sharp every day. You got to be ready every day, and I never could laugh. I look back now, and I want to tell you this: you got to enjoy the moment.
Oh, I enjoy it. I think there's, as much time as we spend together in the bullpen, we're going to joke, we're going to have good times. There's going to be stories to tell, and just have fun, and doing it. And as soon as the phone rings,
it's time out.
It's time to, get into game mode, time to put your game face on. And
some of those guys aren't nervous because they know they're not going to pitch.
Sometimes,
you know what I'm saying? It bothers me. No yucking it up. You've had such a great career so far. I know you don't want to go ahead, because that's a major superstition. But you gotta wonder if you could stay healthy, what you can do in this game. I'm telling you, the Hall of Fame there's a chance.
Well, that's nothing I'm thinking about.
I know, but it's nice to have somebody tell you that, isn't it?
It is at times, yeah. But I'm just showing up and putting my work in. As many years as God has blessed me to play this game, because we don't know what's going to happen tomorrow or the day after that. But just showing up every day, and I feel like if I give what I can give today and tomorrow and the next day, and keep going, story will kind of write itself.
Good stuff. Thank you very much, gentlemen. Well, we'll see if David Price needs a closer tonight on the mound and looking for another complete game. The Red Sox got one in Game 1 from Stephen Wright. It's the finale coming up from Kansas City in just a moment. And is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. By buyatoyota.com, Toyota's website for deals. By Plainridge Park Casino, the official sponsor of winning. By Sullivan Tire and Auto Service. And by the University of Massachusetts, here for a reason. Just a perfect night here in Kansas City, and we welcome you back to Kauffman Stadium. Dennis Eckersley and Dave O'Brien with you. And time for a look at the Red Sox lineup. It's brought to you by buyatoyota.com. Toyota's website for deals. Mookie Betts will lead it off here in Game 2. Xander Bogaerts and David Ortiz will follow. Hanley Ramirez back in there at first base. He rested most of Game 1. Travis Shaw, Josh Rutledge, he's at second base with Jackie Bradley in center field. Christian Vasquez doing the catching. And Brock Holt trying to bust his way out of a slump. He's in left field hitting ninth. And time for a look at the starting pitcher for Kansas City. Brought to you by McDonald's. I'm loving it. That is the right-hander Edinson Volquez, 4-3, ERA at 3.51. Facing the Red Sox for the 5th time. He's 1-0 in his career against Boston.
The Royals defense brought to you by DraftKings. They're second in the American League. 16 errors you see made there. Cuthbert at third, Escobar at short, Infante at second, Hosmer at first. In the outfield, you've got Merrifield in left, Lorenzo Cain in center, Orlando in left. Behind the plate, Salvador Perez catching Volquez.
And tonight's umpires are brought to you by ToyotaCertified.com. The judiciary has Pat Hoberg behind the plate, Todd Titchener at first, Bill Miller at second. Clint Fagan will make the decisions at third base. We're available. This telecast can be heard in Spanish by selecting the SAP button on your TV remote. SAP presented by ToyotaCertified.com. Search for your factory-backed Toyota certified used vehicle right now. It's good to know the factory has your back. And here's the weather. 68 degrees right now and mostly sunny with a wind left to right at 6 miles per hour. So just gorgeous here. Red Sox losers in Game 1 today, 3-2. They wasted an outstanding pitching performance by Stephen Wright. That was a complete game. He went 8, 3 runs, 5 hits. He allowed only 1 run after the first inning. As a team, the Red Sox struck out 13 times. Chris Young belting his first Red Sox home run. Jackie Bradley waited until his last at bat to run his hitting streak to 23 in a row, but in the end it was not enough. So the Red Sox are trying to stave off a 3-game sweep as Mookie Betts gets in, and he will take one up and in for ball 1.
See, Volquez can get it up to 95 miles an hour, but he doesn't use his fastball as much as you'd think. Look, curveball, changeup.
Popped up foul, back out of play. He's been around a while.
He really has, and he came from nowhere. You think about it. Won 17 games with Cincinnati way back in 2008, then found his way to San Diego at some point, but he revived his career in Pittsburgh 2 years ago, and they snatched him last year. He had a great year for them.
They won 13 games. He was a key man in their run to the World Championship. Now 32 years old. The Red Sox in game 1 had an opportunity at the very end as Hanley Ramirez flied to deep center with 1 man aboard in the 9th. But it was caught near the warning track. So the Royals have taken games 1 and 2. And the 2-1. There's a shot drilled out to left, backing up Merrifield. That's going to be over his head, out of the warning track, short hopping the fence. Betts into second base. He'll pull up with a double. He had been just 1 for 8 in the series, so a nice start tonight for Mookie.
Well, he's had some good success off of Volquez early in his career. 2 for 6 with a home run coming in, and he gets his fastball down and in and turns on it. I thought it had a shot. He didn't get it up high enough in the air to get out of here, but it gets over Merriweather's head very easily. He goes into second for a double, stand-up double for Mookie.
And we'll send up Xander Bogaerts, who will check in at 3:39. Xander had a fascinating game 1. He went 2 for 4 and he had a couple of singles. He ran his hitting streak to 12 in a row, but he was robbed of a single in the 5th inning when Escobar made a great play on him and threw him out on a bang play. And Xander went diving headlong into first base, and in between games he said, I wish I hadn't been diving on it. I wish I had stayed up.
Boy, when they smell a hit like that, you see it happen all the time. I mean, it's just a dangerous play, and then you don't get there any sooner.
In fact, it may very well slow you down. The breaking ball is inside. Here's the play.
What a play here by Escobar. On his knees, one hops Hosmer, and he barely gets him right there. I'm talking about
one of the great plays of the day, undoubtedly. And then he was thrown out in the 8th inning at third by Jarrod Dyson's great throw.
On a perfect throw.
He had to do everything right to make that play, and he did. Give him credit on the peg. Here's a look at that.
How about this play here? Ortiz hits it hard enough so Dyson could come in on this ball. One hop, and he's out. That play was so close too. Touched him on the backside just in time. What a play by Dyson.
Took a great throw to get him. Here's the 2-1. That drifts away.
Volquez had a lot of success here at home. He leads the major leagues in home ERA with a 1.35. He likes to pitch here.
You would too.
Yeah. Spacious ballpark.
410 to straightaway center. Great big park. Here's the 3-1. He takes ball 4. Great take there. 93-mile-an-hour fastball at the hollow of the knee. And the Red Sox have runners at first and second right away. David Ortiz coming up.
Here come the Red Sox again. You know, the damage they've been doing in the first inning.
Far and away their favorite inning here in 2016. And Big Papi trying to add to that, hitting .324 with 10 homers, 34 runs batted in. Sox in the first inning have outscored opponents 44-22 coming into this doubleheader. And David, who went 3 for 4 in game 1, takes the first one wide. He is 0 for 6 in his career against Volquez. Home plate umpire Hoberg polishing off home plate. Saw there David with 27 extra base hits, #1 in the majors. Also leads the majors in OPS and in slugging percentage. High fly ball right field. Well hit. Orlando back at the wall, and he'll make the catch. Back to tag up his Betts. He's into third base. And Big Papi just missed one there, but they're on the corners. Well, I thought at the crack of the bat it had a shot.
It didn't have that sound, you know, that sound, that no doubter sound. I want to see where he hits this ball. Must have hit the ball at the end of the bat, just a hair. Orlando goes back to the fence, runs out of room, but just, that's a big out right there. You see Mookie go to third.
It does advance Betts, and here's Hanley Ramirez. Hanley just missed one at the end of game 1, taking Kane all the way back to the edge of the warning track in center field for the final out of the first game. He is not terribly fond of Volquez. 5 for 23 in his career. Starts him with a curveball. Volquez had lost 3 consecutive decisions, and he was hit pretty hard in 2 of them before he rallied to beat the Atlanta Braves 5-1. The Braves are kind of good for whatever ails anybody.
Probably the lambs of the National League.
Of course, they've already fired their manager, Freddie Gonzalez. And that's down low. 1 ball, 1 strike. He's been with Texas way back in 2005. As you mentioned, he went 17-6 for Cincinnati in 08.
Went in that Josh Hamilton deal from Cincinnati and from Texas to Cincinnati.
Yep, he overcame Tommy John surgery and stops in San Diego, Los Angeles with the Dodgers and the Pirates before Kansas City. High chopper. Third baseman Cuthbert into second. On to first. Double play. And they get out of the inning. So Ortiz with the fly out and Hanley with the double play, and nothing doing in the first for Boston. No score, bottom of the first. Xander Bogaerts a little bit balky after the play at second base. He needed to stretch out a little bit.
Little late slide right there. His right knee, you saw his right ankle sort of caught on the bag. He seemed fine there, but when he got back up, he was sort of feeling for it a little bit. His ankle, his right knee, stretching it. You got all that time in between games, you know, something like this could happen. You're so worried about Bogaerts, you don't want anything to happen to him.
David Price on the hill tonight, 5-1, an ERA of 6. And Escobar flares that one foul. Red Sox starting pitcher presented by New England Audi dealers. The American League strikeout leader coming off a 12 strikeout effort against Houston in that 11-1 victory. Went 6 2/3, 1 run, 1 walk after working on that leg kick and the hand position adjustments.
Boy, you'd look at his walks and strikeouts and you'd think he's having a great year. And then the 5-1 looks pretty good too. I tell you what, a couple good starts, don't give up too many runs. The next thing you know, you're 7-1 and no one cares anymore.
Escobar was 2 for 4 in game 1, and he'll take one inside. That's 93 miles an hour, but missing. Lorenzo Cain next, and then Eric Hosmer. The Royals have taken the first 2 games of the series 8-4 and 3-2. They're now a game over 500 at 20-19 and on a 3-game winning streak. Popped him up into right center. And a play from Mookie Betts for out number 1. Royal lineup brought to you by New England Chevy dealers. After the top 3, it's Kendrys Morales, the DH, Salvador Perez, the catcher, Cuthbert at third base, Infante at second. Orlando did a lot of damage last night. He's in right field. And Whit Merrifield was called up from the minor leagues between games. He's now in left field. Cain at 266 with 5 home runs, 19 RBIs. That was a frustrating top of the first for the Red Sox. With the double and the walk, you almost assume a run there.
You almost thought it was 3-0, the ball out of the ballpark by Ortiz, and then the double play ball that just crushed him.
Cain is 4 for 11 against Price with a home run, and that's a strike.
For a guy that throws this hard, I'll tell you what, he's on the corners and he misses. He doesn't miss by much. Back and forth, in and out.
Boy, that was a meager swing and a miss by Cain. He got fooled badly.
And cutter down and in, just couldn't hold up. Thing's biting hard.
Hosmer on deck. Price looking for his first punch out on the night. And he buried it. Price 2-0 in his career against Kansas City, a 1.93 ERA. That's in 6 appearances. He's 1-0 here at Kauffman. And the 2-2 to Lorenzo Cain. And a little dribbler out in front of the plate. That is.
How about that?
Picked up. They tagged him out. He's out. How about that?
I think Cain had second thoughts of running out of the box, and he said, "What? Why run? Maybe it'll go foul."
He sure did.
It didn't. I mean, this is not pretty at all. It didn't have enough spin. It just stopped. What an easy out. Beautiful thing. The Red Sox defense is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. You see the infield, Travis Shaw at third, Bogey at short. Rutledge plays second base, Hanley Ramirez at first. In the outfield, Brock Holt, Bradley Jr., Mookie Betts in right, Vasquez behind the plate catching Price.
And now Hosmer, who's been trouble early in games here in the first 2 games of the series. He's belted home runs right out of the chute. He did it in game 1 against Stephen Wright today. The rest of the day, Stephen allowed 1 run over 8 innings.
He absolutely cruised. And he almost got out of it there. He sacrificed fly by Cain, got him that 3rd run.
First inning has been a bugaboo for Wright, but after that he's been outstanding for the most part. Bounded foul.
first inning, like you said, that knuckleball was going down, but it just was right in the middle of his swing, and he hit that ball to the deepest part of the ballpark. That ball was crushed.
It is a tough loss for him and the Red Sox.
You don't see very many complete games. He's got 2 out of his last 3 starts.
That's right. He went all the way against the Yankees at Yankee Stadium a couple of starts ago, down into the dirt on Hosmer, who last year drove in 93 runs. So Wright continues to solidify his spot in that rotation. I don't think there's any question about that. Red Sox expecting Joe Kelly back for the weekend. The way he's been working, rehabbing back from that shoulder impingement. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Swung on and missed on the high stuff. And down he goes. A 1-2-3 start for Price. No score after 1. Top of the second, Travis Shaw leads off, swing and a miss on an off-speed pitch from Volquez. It'll be Josh Rutledge who's at second base tonight. Dustin Pedroia has the nightcap off, and then Jackie Bradley with a 23-game hitting streak heading into game 2 of this doubleheader.
You know, Shaw in that first game could have done some damage. Came up twice, once with guys on first and third, nobody out. 3-0 count. Ended up punching out. Came up again with a 3-1 count and punched out. Those were 2 big at bats in the first game.
There were chances. The Red Sox had a lot more opportunities than Kansas City did. Softly rolled foul. He went 1 for 4 with a single in game 1.
The other guy is hitting of what, 330, and I'm getting on him for having a couple bad at bats.
6 homers, 29 runs batted in, but it felt like one that got away.
Yeah.
I mean, there was an opportunity there the way Wright was pitching. Men on base in several innings.
They had Kennedy right there. They had him on the ropes.
And he tired quickly. But it was not to be. 3-2 Royals. So the Red Sox need to win so as not to be swept here. Heading back home on Friday against the Cleveland Indians. And the 2-2. Foul tipped and down into the dirt. And Perez is trying to argue that he had held it, but home plate ump Pat Hoberg is not buying it.
Little change up in the dirt. One hopped into his glove. Looked like a punch out, but it hit the ground.
Sure did. Two, a number off the end of the bat. Shaw with 15 hits in his last 35 at bats. And just beating up on right-hand pitching. He's hitting about .450 against righties. Rutledge on deck, and then JBJ in the second inning. No score, and that's in there for strike 3, right at the knee to catch him looking.
Perfect pitch. Change up the pitch before and then punch him out on a fastball.
Time of the Geico Red Sox moment, honoring the '86 Sox in their 41st game. The Red Sox would lose to the Rangers 3-2. Bob Jones with a pinch hit 2 RBI single in the bottom of the ninth that gave the Rangers the victory. These Red Sox coming into game 2 of the Twin Bill at 24-16. And Rutledge the batter, looking at ball 1.
Boy, Kennedy had Rutledge's number in the first game. Punched him out 3 times on balls away from him.
And Josh was 0 for 3. Had 3 hits on Sunday against Houston. He pops that one to right field, and Infante, the second baseman, is there. 2 down. Red Sox season ticket holders, you can experience the best seats, price, and benefits Fenway has to offer. For information on becoming a season ticket holder, just visit redsox.com/season tickets or call 877 Red Sox 9 today. And that brings up Jackie, hitting .331 with 6 home runs, .398 during his 23-game hitting streak. There was some drama.
Yeah, he'd like to get it done right now. You don't want to have to do what he did in the first game. Wait till the 9th inning off of Wade Davis.
His last at bat with 1 out in the 9th, and he ran it to 23 in a row. There's a high fly left center field. Kane is trailing it. That one way back there, and that ball's gone. It's out of here. Well, he didn't wait a minute. A home run to put the Red Sox on the board. Number 7 for Jackie. And the Red Sox in the lead 1-0.
There is absolutely no telling what this kid can do. You're talking about opposite field home run, and this big ballpark, high fastball drives it out of here. Look at this pitch. Ball's way up. Gets extension on it. I thought it was going to be a gapper. Then you look at Kane, and he just gives up on it. And this ball finds the left center field seats.
That had a second life to it.
This was a 24-game hitting streak. This is ridiculous.
The Speedway is proud to be New England's first choice for value and convenience. For every Red Sox home run this season, Speedway donates $500 to Boston Children's Hospital. There's a line shot and a base hit over the leaping Infante, and Vasquez is on. Stop by a Speedway store near you and pick up your Speedway rewards card and start earning points today.
That is so impressive, isn't it? After getting the hit off of Wade Davis, first time up, goes yard. Oh my goodness.
And you know, it took off, and then it took off again.
Yeah. Kane, I thought Kane had a beat on it, and he just stopped.
It barely got over that wall, but now a 24-game hitting streak.
This isn't a fastball. I think this is a high changeup. He stays back, and he just leans on it.
Boy, that swing is
strong, this
perfect
kid.
Working order, isn't it?
Yeah, I tell you what, you don't know what he's capable of doing. We're seeing like sick things happening. Like this is like last August. You know, he hit unbelievably last August, but it was hidden, you know, in 3/4 of the way into the season. This is like he's got all the attention now. This is getting serious.
They had a string of 11 consecutive extra base hits at one point last summer. And the great hot streak that you were talking about, then cooled off at the very end.
I mean, he gets a pitch to hit. He is not missing it.
Red Sox in the lead 1-0 here in Kansas City. Brock Holt hoping for some of that. He's in an 0 for 11 right now. And that's a strike. His batting average is skidded into the 240s, 248 with 3 home runs. After getting off to a very impressive start. Vasquez at first base. There are 2 out. And a 1-2. And down he goes swinging. Side retired, but Jackie Bradley strikes again, make it 24 in a row. 1-0 Red Sox. Well, tonight's suits are designed by Joseph Abboud, custom made in the USA of fine Italian fabrics, available at Men's Warehouse. Jackie Bradley has just given the Red Sox a home run in 19 consecutive games as we go to the bottom of the second inning. And that has tied a franchise record for the Boston Red Sox. It ties the 1996 Red Sox at 19 in a row.
Wow. He is incredible. He is fuego.
Morales, batting right-handed, will take a ball here. The switch hitter at 192 with 5 home runs. And just 5 for 21 lifetime against David Price. Lashed foul out of play.
You see the hands are high. The leg kick is up. The hands are high again. Boy, that was an easy find, huh? Just kick your leg up higher, hold your hands up higher, stay back over the rubber, and air it out. Back to 95, 96. See the high kick, hands up high, breaking ball down. But you know, he stands straight up and down. He doesn't really bend over, get way into the delivery.
And he's 6'5".
Yes, and he's strong. Kind of recoils when he throws.
Liner toward the alley. Nobody out there. That's onto the grass, the track, and up against the fence. Morales will chug into second base, and he's got himself a double. He has not been swinging a good bat. And if the Royals are going to compete again for a division crown, they need him to.
He needs to swing the bat good left-handed. He's swinging the bat good right-handed. As you see from there, fastball, he gets on it. That's gappage. Anybody that can run could have possibly had a triple, but like you said, he's just sort of trotting into second base and glad to be there.
That'll send up Salvador Perez, their fine catcher, hitting just .237, but with 5 home runs. The Gold Glover. He's won 3 consecutive Gold Gloves, and the last 2 years he's been voted as the All-Star starter. Talking about leg kicks now, you had a big-time leg kick.
Totally.
And you were saying, you know, as a young guy, it was even more pronounced. And the pitcher that you kind of wanted to emulate was a guy with a big kick.
Totally.
Biggest kick there was.
Ever. Juan Marichal. I mean, that's how you learn to pitch. We didn't get to watch TV every night, you know, to be able to emulate anybody. You never saw that. But then I'd see him live, and I said, what is that kick? So I started trying it, you know, and that's why I think when I was a little kid, I could throw hard because I was kicking my leg up so high, and really had a lot to do with it.
So how old were you when you started kicking it up near your head?
Probably 8 years old.
That early?
Yeah. I said, if he's doing it, I'm doing it. It was great, and I kept it up forever. Not like that, but next thing you know, I'm tight. Me and Juan are good friends now.
Is that right?
Yeah.
It's a great ending. There's a swing and a high fly ball. Fairly well hit, but playable. Holt is backing up and will make the catch, and a runner will stay put. Morales glued to second base.
Boy, he just missed that.
And Cuthbert will be next. When did you first meet him, by the way, Juan Marichal?
Wow, it's weird. He came into the club. I think he was working for the A's, you know, much later in my career, much later.
Yeah.
And obviously I loved him. I told him, you're my idol.
You told him, hey, I'm copying you.
Yeah, I told him, you're my idol. This is after I've been in the big leagues a long time, and he got a kick out of it. And I see him at the Hall of Fame every year. And I was, hey, you're my idol. Hey, idol. He laughs.
Good guys, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a great story. I mean, we all tried to copy somebody.
Yeah.
You know, certain guys make it all the way to the Hall of Fame doing that. The rest of us don't.
I could copy any golfer you want, and I'm not going to any golfer Hall of Fame.
Is Cuthbert as he takes one inside for ball, hitting .279 with 1 home run. Red Sox in a lead 1-0 on a Jackie Bradley home run. After extending his hitting streak in game 1, makes it 24 in a row here in game 2. But Price has a runner at his back, and he deals a strike.
There's that high strike again. High changeup. Sure didn't want to throw it there. Bend over to get that ball down.
The 1-1. Loop toward left field, coming on Holtz, and plenty of time to get there for out number 2. Follow Red Sox baseball live with the MLB.com at Bat app. You can stay up to the moment with game day, live game video, and more. Download MLB.com at Bat, #1 app for live baseball on your smartphone and tablet today. The one I remembered as a kid was Vita Blue. Another guy, big time
kick.
leg kick, huge.
Yeah, he had that. What a year he had in 1971. Remember?
Oh yeah.
Everybody came out to see him.
Those are great Oakland A teams. Here's Infante, 245 without a homer, 5 runs batted in. Morales started the inning with a double. He's still out there. And that'll be a strike at 93. Veteran second baseman from Venezuela. Hit just 220 last year, 245 so far this season. So there have been some rumblings about him. Will he continue as the everyday second baseman? Bounded foul. Well, let's go back to some vintage Eck and your delivery. Talk about a leg kick.
Yeah, that's not bad. Little backdoor piece to Reggie. Sit down, Reg. Right? It's a strike, buddy.
I could see that again. I can watch that again.
That's a good backdoor breaking ball. I've seen backdoor breaking balls go a long ways, let me tell you.
2 down, a man at second. Red Sox ahead 1-0 in the second inning. Price looking for another K here. Won't get it on that pitch as Infante gets a piece. It's a dumb question, but you know, when you started, you had some games, some starts in your career where you went, I think, 7 times 10 innings or more in a start.
Yeah, which is unheard of.
Did you ever get tired kicking that leg up over and over again?
As long as I'm getting them out, I'm not going to get tired.
You went 12 innings once and got the win.
Yeah, you know, the only way you're going to go 12 innings, it's not like you're Nolan Ryan, some of these strong guys like Roger. is to not throw that many pitches. You can't go 12 innings punching out, having a lot of punch outs. But still, it's unheard of this day and age. You'll never see anybody go 12 innings again, right?
Nowhere
I mean,
close,
no way.
No.
Never, not even 10. If you saw somebody go 10, everybody would go, what is going on?
Someone would get fired,
right?
If it were 12 innings,
right?
Orlando on deck. He did a lot of damage last night in their 8-4 victory. Here's the 0-2 again to Infante. He would not chase.
Believe me, the lineups are so much better than they were then. There's no doubt in my mind.
Price striking out 31% of batters he has faced. He has 1 strikeout so far tonight. The 1-2 to Infante. And there's another one. Down he goes, strike 3. He strands that man at second base. 1-0 Red Sox after 2. Back in Kansas City, game 2 of the doubleheader. Red Sox looking to salvage one here and have a 1-0 lead on the Jackie Bradley homer. And there's a high deep drive by Mookie Betts. Merrifield back, track wall, and kiss it goodbye. The Red Sox strike again. Number 7 from Mookie. That makes it 2-0 Boston.
Boy, we've seen that before. Don't even try him. Fastball up in. Early in his career, he's done that here a couple of times here at Kauffman Stadium. Once again, fastball up and in. He gets to it, turns on. He knows it's gone.
Oh yeah. So 7 for Mookie, the second one tonight for the Red Sox. And now comes Xander Bogaerts trying to make it back-to-back. He walked in the first inning. He has hit safely in 12 consecutive games, hitting .339. He has more hits than anybody in the American League.
Once again, you see that two-seamer is going to run up and in, right into his happy zone. Anything up and in he can get to. Quick bat, turns on it. He knows it's gone. Way back.
Here's the 2-0 to Bogaerts. Toward the middle, hard hit, but Infante down on a knee. It gets him. One man gone. Get expert emergency care without leaving the ballpark at Fenway at the Beth Israel Deaconess Medical Center First Aid Station. It's located behind Section 12 on the lower concourse. Visit bidmc.org.
I mean, these young players are so exciting. You know, Mookie doesn't swing the bat a little, he'll come around, and he is. Bogarts, Bradley, I mean, these kids are something.
Kid at the plate's been doing pretty well too.
Yeah, this old kid is still wearing it out.
3 singles in game 1. He hit one of the warning track. He took Orlando, the right fielder, up against the fence in the first inning. Red Sox leading 2-0. But you're right about the way people are talking about Xander Bogaerts, I think in particular, when we travel to cities like Kansas City. And you hear the writers and the broadcasters and players on other teams and talking about Xander in a different sort of way, as if like greatness is right there at his doorstep.
Yeah, there's so much respect for him so early on. You know, they saw it last year, and he's continued this year.
When you're seeing that, the batting average and the power numbers coming up, but also the defensive shortstop he's playing. He's made 1 error.
He made a little Jeter play in the first game, right? Into the hole, jumped through to first.
1-2 pitch.
But he looks like a star. He handles himself like a star. He's a quality kid. He at a young age like that, it's incredible to see the way he carries himself.
23 years old. He's getting.
And he speaks up. He's like a team guy. The microphone's there. He's ready to talk.
He's getting a lot of kudos from his teammates. The way he carries himself. Is a high fly into center field, but it hangs up, and Kane underneath it. 2 down. That'll send up Hanley Ramirez. Hanley 0 for 1 in this one, hit into a double play, 5-4-3 in the first inning. He had an 8-game hitting streak busted in the first game as he came up as a pinch hitter. He only got 1 at bat and fly to center.
You see how strong this guy is, Hanley, when you see him in the locker room? And he is big. He was bigger last year, though, wasn't he? I mean, weight-wise.
He has slendered down. The upper body isn't what it was a year ago, by design. Last year, he saw himself as a home run hitter almost exclusively.
Yeah, he was real thick last year.
Now he's back to being the Hanley Ramirez kind of hitter, the line drive, the gap guy he used to be. Started the day hitting .318, 4 homers, 23 runs batted in. He has the bases empty. Right to the shortstop. Escobar's a Gold Glover. And that'll do it. The Red Sox on the board again, now 2-0. Mason, Extra Innings Live right after the game. TC, Jim Rice, Steve Lyons break it all down, and you'll hear from David Price and John Farrell. Whatever, whenever, wherever, who but W.B. Mason. Mookie Betts with a second home run of the night for the Red Sox. Jackie Bradley had the first. It's 2-0 Boston. And Paulo Orlando will lead things off here. And then Whit Merrifield, who was called up between games from the minor leagues and played with Jackie Bradley at South Carolina as part of a College World Series champion. Orlando hitting .333 with a home run. Last night 3 for 4 with a triple, and he's at it again as he dunks in a base hit. And let's go downstairs to Garen.
Hey, thanks, Opie. Well, Omaha, Nebraska is about 3 hours away from here, and it will always be a special place for Jackie Bradley Jr., who won 2 College World Series championships there in 2010 and 2011 with the University of South Carolina. I was talking with JBJ earlier, and he said he has such great memories, especially of 2010 when he was the CWS MVP. Jackie told me that he still hears from fans from Omaha who have followed his career, and he still keeps in touch with his college teammates. And guys, he was just telling me that he was talking with Whit Merrifield, who, as you mentioned, was called up today.
Yep, and drove in the winning run to beat UCLA in the national championship game in the last game ever played at Rosenblatt Stadium in Omaha. His dad, Bill, was a 2-time ACC Player of the Year in baseball at Wake Forest. So he comes from a very strong baseball background. But Jackie was the most outstanding player of that tournament.
Back-to-back world championships, huh? I mean, College
World Series, yeah.
Man, they've got quite a program, huh? South Carolina.
Great program. Jackie's such a big part of it. They just love him in South Carolina.
Well, we're loving him now, huh? 24 games, hitting .404 in the last 24 games, 28 RBIs.
And I know this impresses you as much as anything, how he is using the entire diamond, foul line to foul line.
You know, you throw him a breaking ball, he's going to juice you. He did in Boston. He hit 3 home runs, all breaking balls. Fastballs he's using the whole field. Hit a triple the first night here, right? Left field line. Opposite field home run last time up. Incredible.
Everywhere. The 1-2 to Merrifield is swung on late, foul to the screen. DraftKings is the official one-day fantasy baseball partner of the Red Sox. Experience the thrill of playing on DraftKings now. Play free daily using the promo code NESSON at DraftKings.com.
We haven't seen him chase anything down in a while, make one of his spectacular catches in quite some time, have we? I haven't seen it.
Not lately.
Not lately.
Made a couple of nice throws.
Right.
1-2 inside at the elbow and spun him around. Merrifield was their best player in spring training. But he kind of got boxed out in the numbers game, but they loved him, and they said as soon as they had an opportunity they'd bring him up, and they have.
Well, he didn't like that fastball in right there. Take him a while to get back into the box. Let's go.
Time of game is up by 7 minutes.
Let's go.
Price with a 2-2. Fly into center field, but a routine play right to his former teammate at South Carolina. Ace Ticket is Boston's trusted source for Red Sox tickets with the best seats at the lowest prices with a 200% guarantee. Treat yourself or someone special by visiting aceticket.com or by calling 1-800-MY-SEATS. We talk about time of game being up a little bit. The commissioner said he is somewhat concerned about it, and he's looking into why. The reasoning why, but our first game today brought it down 2 hours and 23 minutes.
That never happens.
You do see those with a knuckleballer on the mound when he's dealing, and Wright was dealing. Escobar takes a strike.
When a knuckleballer throws strikes, he's around the plate, guys are hacking. They couldn't square it up. Hosmer did in the first inning, but that's it.
And you know, he's not messing around with the catcher very much. He's not shaking anybody off.
No, everybody knows what's coming. Let's go.
0-1 over but low.
Not everybody can do that. You know. Very unique pitch, to say the least.
He was a tough luck loser today. He deserved a better fate. Complete game loss, 3-2. But the Red Sox out in front here in the second game, 2-0 in Kansas City. Alcides Escobar is 0 for 1 in this one. He's flied out to right field.
Stephen Wright, he likes to chirp, huh? You always see him talking, didn't he?
Constantly.
Constantly.
He's a very friendly guy.
Very,
extremely friendly.
Absolutely.
Very approachable. I think a lot of fans have found that out. He's a great guy. Price with a 1-1 and Bloop foul out of play.
There he goes again. Who's he talking to? Is there anybody over there? There he is.
Chad with Yoshi there. You saw the numbers on the road and how tough he's been on the road, including today. ERA well under 2.
Whoa.
Orlando off of first base with 1 down. That one ran in on the knuckles.
Boy, he gets that ball inside, Price. He is not afraid to go in there and go in there hard.
Talk about the road. Over the course of his career, he is 61-25 on the road.
Whoa.
Winning 71% of his road decisions. And with a minimum of 60 decisions, that's the best career road record in Major League history.
It says it all. How about a changeup right here? Nope, gas. See ya.
Go back to first, and a tag not in time on the strikeout. Down goes Escobar.
Boy, that would have been awesome. A strikeout and throw out back pick. It would have been. Because I get crazy. The catcher leaves too soon sometimes. He's so worried about that back pick. How about catching the ball first for a punch out and then throw? Because he has no time to frame that pitch. He's not framing anything. He's thinking about that back pick. So if I paint on the outside corner and he jumps out of there, the umpire may not give it to me. Meanwhile, he punched him out, but you know what I'm saying?
Know what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying?
But I still like the play down at first base.
I do too. I do too.
I like the aggressive nature of that. Lorenzo Cain now, he is 0 for 1. Fouls that one back. He hit a little dribbler out in front of home plate that barely got in front of the plate. Ruled fair by Hoberg, the umpire. Vasquez was cat quick on that. He jumped, picked it up, and got him.
It's embarrassing, really.
You don't put catcher unassisted in there very often.
That's worse than taking a check swing and it goes back to the mound and you're falling backwards.
Never got out of the box. 2 men out. To the right side gently. Rutledge with a play at first and got him. Side retired. 1 man left. Still 2-0 Red Sox. We take it to the top half of the fourth inning here. Kansas City in a lovely night, and the Red Sox with a 2-0 lead on a pair of home runs. Travis Shaw with a strike. He struck out looking in the second inning. Rutledge next. He is in for Dustin Pedroia here in game 2 as Petey gets the night off, and then Jackie Bradley stung but foul by Travis, who started the night hitting .327. Looking forward to watching Jackie swing the bat again after his home run in the second.
Pressure's off for the moment.
Yeah.
How far do you got to get into this thing before it's like a national piece? You know, I mean, 24 games is saying something.
I think when you get up around 30, 35 in that range, nationally people start to take notice. Hosmer with the pick. He'll take it to the base for the out. First baseman unassisted. Dead and Company will kick off the Plainridge Park Casino Fenway Concert Series this summer on July 15th. Plenty of great seats still available. Go to redsox.com/Dead and Company. So it'll be Rutledge to dig in next. He's 0 for 1 with a pop to second, and then JBJ. Rutledge out of the University of Alabama. Solid baseball program out of this World Football program. And right through there for a strike. Josh born in Birmingham, Alabama. The 0-1 from Volquez. A breaking ball did not snap.
It's like a California kid to me.
Doesn't he?
Did he? Long hair, boss, working.
Gotta be a surfboard somewhere.
Yeah.
The 1-1 on the way, and that's up the middle. Through for a base hit. So Rutledge is 1 for 2, and he's aboard in front of Jackie. Back to Jackie Bradley's home run cut in the second inning.
Wasn't quite sure what the pitch was, but I found out it was a high changeup that carried on out of here to left center field, opposite field home run for Jackie. And the beat goes on 24 games.
The last Red Sox player with a longer hitting streak than Jackie Bradley was David Ortiz. 27 in a row in 2013.
How do you get 27 in a row and you're David Ortiz? Because you got to pitch around him. I mean, please. That was just a couple years ago.
Yeah, championship year. So Volquez to face him for the second time tonight. And he misses down and away. Volquez had a look of wonder on his face that Jackie's shot left the ballpark. It's almost like, well, you know, I didn't think it was that bad a pitch.
Well, he did. How about the home run by Betts? He knew that. He didn't even want to look at that one.
That was a different story.
Yes. He just wanted another ball.
The 1-0. Too high.
When a guy takes you that deep out that way, you're hoping that it's going to stay in the ballpark. You know, I always thought that. But, you know, he looked away. He knew he hit it pretty good. Give me another ball. I had that down pat. Give me another ball.
Right now.
See, because the umpires aren't supposed to give it to you until they touch home plate, right? They're not supposed to. That's the rule, you know. And I used to go crazy if you didn't give me one.
You wanted to forget it instantaneously.
What do you think I'm going to do? Drill the guy as he comes around third base if you give it to me too early, right? Seriously.
I think you probably would have wanted to.
But, you know, the rookie umpires wouldn't do it. They'd wait, and you'd be looking for the ball, and they'd wait because he's waiting for the guy to touch home plate. Give me the ball.
Yeah.
I want to squeeze it. You know what I mean?
Squeeze the life out of it.
Squeeze it.
3-0 on Jackie. With Rutledge at first. He's taking a strike. Christian Vasquez on deck. Red Sox with a 2-0 lead. They've out-hit Kansas City 5-2. And the Sox have homered in 19 straight. Remember early in the season when A lot of folks are wondering, will this team hit home runs?
Even though they started opening day with a couple home runs, Ortiz and Betts, right? Cleveland, a cold day. See if he gets a pitch to hit here, 3-1.
He did, but he did not swing the bat. The count goes to 3-2. Volquez was part of the rotation in the World Series, made 2 starts against the Mets. Pitched pretty well, no wins or losses, but an ERA of 3 as they became world champs. And the payoff pitch to Bradley, runner going, swung on and missed, down to second. The tag is out.
How about that? That's impressive right there.
They strike him out, throw him out. Now Rutledge is going to kind of hover there at second base before he leaves the bag.
What's he thinking about? Replay? We've seen this a lot in this 3-game series.
We have. John
comes on the steps and doesn't do anything.
Waiting, and the Royals are waiting to leave the diamond, because if the call is not challenged and it is upheld, and the inning is over.
Isn't this weird when it's the last out of an inning?
And he does want them to take a look at it. So this will be challenged. So the Royals can't quite leave the diamond yet. And Perez, such a weapon back there. Best throwing catcher in the American League. Here's another look.
Yeah, he didn't touch him. I mean, that view right there, he didn't touch him until he's by him. And he touched his back knee. He didn't go straight to him. He caught it and then lifted it up, and he's in there. So he's still searching for that tag a little bit, isn't he?
This has a chance.
Yeah, this has a chance. Watch this. See, he didn't get him there, I don't think. Then he gets him. He's already in. I mean, that's close play. Is it conclusive? Is what it's about. There's the tag, and his foot's in.
Well, it's always close.
Yeah, the base runner's the one to tell you. When Rutledge didn't leave, he knew he didn't tag him until he got in. That back knee.
So in the meantime, Volquez is going to take some warm-up tosses here. Red Sox have a 2-0 lead. Jackie Bradley was struck out at home plate. And on the field, as Rutledge was in motion, he was ruled out trying to steal second base against the Gold Glove catcher Salvador Perez. But we'll see what they see in New York and if they have evidence to overturn it.
Safe.
And they are going to rule him safe. So Rutledge will head back out to second base. Yep.
Red Sox stealing bags.
Been out stealing Kansas City.
Yeah.
One more look.
Throw beat him. It just didn't put the tag on him till late. His back knee right there, and he's already in.
It's a good job by New York to overturn the call on the field by Bill Miller.
You think about how many times umpires, the throw beats the runner. They didn't even think twice about it. Out. Nobody complains.
Especially when it's a catcher like this guy.
Yeah.
In the old days.
Done. See ya.
Before there was any replay.
Yeah.
You're right. So an RBI chance here for Vasquez. Base hit his first time up. And Rutledge at second. Go back to 1983. The Red Sox, the entire season, stole 30 bases.
Oh.
Jerry Remy led the way with 11. That same year, Kansas City stole 182.
That was Yaz's last year, 83.
Willie Wilson with 59 led the way.
I mean, the Red Sox didn't run, but that's ridiculous. 30 stolen bases all year.
It is ridiculous.
They were just trying to go bridge. I think they had Tony Armas back then.
This Red Sox team has stolen 31 times already in 34 attempts. Oh, 2 on Vasquez. A wave and a miss, and down he goes. Runner stranded at second. Still 2-0 Boston. The Lexus Strikeout Hunger Program in partnership with Nesson and the Greater Boston Food Bank. Visit your Boston area Lexus dealer in May and donate non-perishable food items. For more information, visit Nesson.com/Lexus. Underway here in the last half of the fourth inning. Dennis Eckersley, Dave O'Brien, Garen Austin with you from Kauffman Stadium. And the Red Sox with a 2-0 lead here in the nightcap of the doubleheader. And the dangerous Eric Hosmer here. He struck out his first at bat. He's hit a pair of home runs in this series.
Price looks pretty good up to this point. He's behind the count here 2-0, but a lot of fastballs. You've seen him move guys off the plate in and out. Haven't seen a whole lot of changeups thus far.
He has struck out 3 and allowed 2 hits. He's up 2-0. Hosmer taking a big swing. He is their hottest bat right now. Always makes good contact and does not take ball 4 very often. He and Red Sox minor leaguer Devin Marrero played Little League and high school baseball together. They're still pals. The 2-1.
Oh.
Nice short hop stab there by Hanley Ramirez behind the bag for the out.
Nicely done by Hanley. Getting better and better as games go on. You see Price tonight, 3 punch outs early on here, and every one of them is fastballs. You see the fastball up to Infante, and that fastball right by you, Escobar.
One man gone in the fourth inning for Kendrys Morales, who doubled but then was stranded out there to begin the second inning. A 2-base hit, but they did not bring him in. He's 6 for 22 lifetime against Price. He deals strike 1.
There's a changeup.
Red Sox will have tomorrow off. They expect to be back in Boston about 5 o'clock in the morning. and then entertain the Cleveland Indians.
Just as I say, he didn't throw very many changeups, back-to-back changeups. Nicely done. Got some high gas here.
The 0-2 pitch to Morales. back to 84.
Back-to-back changeups.
Man.
Well, I was thinking with him, I say, hey, it's time to get your changeup out. That is a beautiful thing. This is one of his best pitches. I tell you, that changeup. Saw a lot of it early on this season.
We take a look at these rocket arms presented by Quicken Loans. Strikeouts per 9, priced at the top of this list in front of Archer and Salazar, who we will see in Game 3 of the Cleveland series on Sunday. Here's Salvador Perez 0 for 1 with a fly to left. He stings that one to center field.
Wow.
Bradley back, turning around. She's gone. His 6th home run of the season. Kansas City on the board. That makes it 2-1.
He had to be sitting there saying there's no way he's going to throw another changeup, sitting all on this fastball. Sitting all over this fastball. Got a good pitch to hit, and he hit it out. Three changeups and a fastball middle, and he's got some pops. Salvador leaves the building.
5th home run this season that Price has allowed. And it cuts the Red Sox lead in half. Cheslor Cuthbert now, he's 0 for 1 with a fly to left. He takes ball 1. Price had allowed only 1 home run in his previous 4 starts, but he gives one up here. That's a strike. And the 1-1 from the tall lefty. Ripped but foul just off the line. He stung that one.
You see this home run pitch again to Salvador Perez. Fastball middle, and when a big man he makes a sound on that ball, sweet part of the bat, full extension, you know it's gone. Take one look at Jackie and you knew it was gone.
So a 2-1 game here in Kansas City. And Price with a 1-2 pitch. Popped him up. Shallow right. Rutledge out, Betts in, and Mookie wants it to retire the side. Perez with a homer. Now 2-1 Red Sox. Top of the fifth inning, 2-1. The Sox have the lead here against Kansas City. It'll be Brock Holt to lead things off against Edinson Volquez, the 32-year-old from the Dominican Republic. And then Mookie Betts, who's belted a home run, and then Xander Bogaerts. Brock struck out in the second inning, so he's 0 for his last 12. And the 0-1, a 2 bouncer to the second baseman. So fast out there. One man gone in the fifth for every Red Sox hit this month. EchoStore Technologies donates $50 to the Claddagh Fund, the charitable foundation of the Dropkick Murphys. EchoStar Technologies, your data center solutions provider. One out for Mookie Betts, who is halfway to the cycle. Has the double and the home run. 2 for 2, and he takes a ball.
I always look at Mookie. If you get that upper lip, he looks like Elvis Presley. You know, that little upper lip. Every time he gets on first base, it sort of quivers a little bit.
And then the shake of the hips. You're old enough to remember what I talk about here.
I know. When he's going good, that lip starts going up on him, boy.
Mookie Betts right now on a pace to score about 129 runs. And that's golden territory for a leadoff man.
Yes, it is. The only thing he hasn't done is walk for the most part. That's why his on base percentage is so low. But like he said, you know, get pitches to hit, swing. What are you waiting for?
He's done that tonight.
Where's
Here
that?
he will take, and that is ball 4. Back to his home run cut in the third inning.
Little two-seamer running right back over. Ball's up. If he can leave anything in upper half, in and out, I'll tell you what, this kid's got a quick bat.
You saw him just drop his head and start running.
I'll tell you what, and then that ball, he didn't think that was a ball 4. You know, he took a long time to leave the box because he knew it was a strike.
He's 8 for 8 in steals. Of course, you have that stop sign behind the plate. Although the Red Sox do have 1 stolen base after the challenge, and the call was reversed. Rutledge was given credit for a stolen base off of Perez. Here's Xander from the knees, but not in time to get him. I think these catchers like to show off for each other.
They love
these two guys.
You think so?
I absolutely think so.
To show off to one another?
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it. I get it. I'm better than you are. Watch this. And this guy is a reigning Golden Glove catcher.
It's going to be tough to take it away from him.
Yes.
I think for several years to come, but not impossible. Xander has walked and grounded out to second. David Ortiz on deck.
He
Red
doesn't
Sox
know
in the
what
lead.
he's going to throw.
2-1 here, and now he backs off the rubber. Xander hoping to run his hitting streak to 13 consecutive games. Jackie Bradley has already run his to 24 straight, and he's done it with a home run.
Fastball in.
Hit softly, but hard enough maybe to turn 2, and indeed that'll be the case as Hosmer digs it on the twin killing. That's all for the Red Sox, who lead it 2-1. Have you downloaded the Sox schedule into your favorite calendar program? Well, what are you waiting for? Visit NESN.com/schedule and download today. We are halfway through as we go to the bottom of the 5th. Red Sox with a 2-1 lead. Infante the batter. And Price deals a strike in Eck. Are you seeing the mechanical stuff that Price did so well that he rectified in his last start? Is he duplicating that again?
Well, it's one thing is fastball. It's another thing is breaking ball. You see the high kick there. Fastball, right? Oh, no, changeup. Hello. But I don't see velocity wise. Have you seen? I haven't seen the big numbers this year. You know, this game like that he had last time.
93.
Yeah. Did you see the kick here? See if the kick is high. Hands high. More of abbreviated when he throws that breaking ball.
He struck out Infante the first time they met in the 2nd inning. He did give up a home run to Perez in the 4th, the only run he's allowed. So far, Kansas City with 3 hits. Slap toward left, coming on Brock Hope, plenty of time. 1 man gone. The 2016 CVS Health Charity Classic features more than the nation's top golfers. Don't miss the Charity Classic benefit concert featuring Grammy award-winning Lady Antebellum. That's at the Dunkin' Donuts Center, Providence, on June 28. Get your tickets at Ticketmaster.com/Charity Classic Fenway. Next up will be Paulo Orlando. He's been a tough out in this series.
Yes, he has. You know, the more I watch this Orlando kid, you know, we were talking about Alex Rios not being here. Look at him. Doesn't he kind of remind you of Rios, the way he stands in there?
Yes, he really does. Even the batting stance.
Right. His hands.
Yep. 1 for 1 in this one. And a big night last night. 3 for 4 and drove in 4 runs in their victory.
This guy's been in the minor leagues a long, long time. Finally getting a shot.
Bases empty, 1 down. There's 94.
Hello.
But he missed with it. 1 ball, 1 strike.
I'd hate to have somebody watching me every time I throw, huh? The gun. What was that? I mean, I could get guys out without throwing 95, you know.
You like to see it when he needs it.
Right.
Did he attempt to bunt? No, he didn't. Todd Tichenor at first base said he did not swing. He did not try and lay the bunt down. He pulled it back in time, and count goes to 2-1.
Didn't look pretty, but he got the job done. He didn't get a strike called. A little cutter inside.
Merrifield on deck. And Price with a 2-1 to Orlando.
Another cutter in there. He's mixing it up tonight. You know, he's using everything.
His last 28 road starts, he's 18-5 with a 248 earned run average.
Boy, I tell you what, they're going through some signs. He's going backdoor breaking ball.
And missed with that. 3-2.
Backdoor cutter. It's not like they're on the same page. Now what? Changeup. Hello, 3-2 change.
Fouled on a play to the right as Orlando hangs in there.
Boy, I tell you, I saw Price 5 or 6 years ago. All you saw was gas. This guy's a pitcher.
Trying to put away Orlando here in the bottom of the 5th. And he can't do it.
Well, he's set up for a ball. If you hit the glove, it's a ball. He's way inside. Obviously, I hope he swings, because you hit the glove, it's going to be a ball.
That's his first walk tonight. And brings up the kid they just called up in between games from AAA Omaha. Whit Merrifield 0 for 1 with a fly to center. Escobar on deck. Red Sox ahead 2-1, but a base runner for Kansas City and a guy who has pretty good wheels. And a base hit into left. That is his first major league hit.
Good for him.
First and second, and one man out. The baseball will find its way back inside their clubhouse.
Gets a changeup from Price. Goes down the middle, finds a hole between short and third, rolls it over. First and second, one out. A little trouble here for Price. All of a sudden, he's throwing too many changeups.
Even congratulations there from Hanley Ramirez. Not too shabby, your first major league hit against David Price. As you say, though, trouble brewing here, and Escobar will be the batter. He's flied out to right and struck out. Red Sox ahead 2-1. Escobar, a very aggressive swinger, often at the first pitch. 0-1. This is where Price becomes real deliberate, real slow getting the ball to home plate with men on base.
He's had problems with men on base this year.
The 0-1. That's a strike.
Ooh.
So says Pat Hoberg. Generous.
Yeah, very generous. Escobar knows this is a ball. This could ruin an at bat right now. This guy's very swing happy to begin with. He doesn't need called strikes against him. You can't throw him a strike here.
Orlando at second and Merrifield at first. Escobar runs well. He'd be a tough man to double up. You missed it earlier today in game one of the split doubleheader. The Red Sox fell 3-2. Did not generate a whole lot of offense and struck out 13 times. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. Ground ball to short. Bogarts to second. Got one on to first and not in time. 2 down is safe on the corners. Xander had to move to his right a little bit too far in order to make that a double play.
Made it closer than I thought. Rutledge turned it pretty well at second base, but Escobar runs so well. You see the turn, not bad. Escobar a little too fast. No chance. First and third, 2 out. This big at bat for Cain.
Cain's gone 0 for 2 to make him 4 for 13 in his career against Price. 2 down and 2 on here for the Royals in the 5th inning. Cain, one of the stars of last year, an all-star for the first time. Hit over 300, scored over 100 runs. And he has some pop in that bat. Ball 1.
You think about it, if Escobar was at second base right now, you would think about walking Cain, wouldn't you, to face Hosmer, even though he's their best hitter? I don't know. Meanwhile, we'll see what happens.
2 down and the 1-0 pitch. Waved at and missed. The way Hosmer's swinging the bat, I don't know if I want any part of him.
I hear you.
He's really locked in. Lefty righty, doesn't matter. But the count goes to a ball and a strike here on Cain. They lead at first and third. And in for a strike.
Well, I thought he wasn't going to call that because he reached back to catch it, setting up inside. It was a strike. See him set up inside, he reaches back.
Now Vasquez out for a mound visit. Now why would he be going out here?
He wants to make sure what he wants to put him away with, because he's been shaking him off a lot. He doesn't really know what he wants to do. Remember I told you about pitching around him? No, I think I'd go after him. Two strikes.
Got two strikes.
Yeah, never mind what I
Do
said
it now,
before.
yeah.
Yeah, forget what I said.
That's a very pesky hitting team. 1-2 on Cain. Big moment for Price tonight. Runner at first goes, and it's lashed at, fouled away.
Trying to slip that fastball by him. You know, it's funny, him running right there. I don't think anybody has stolen off of Price in the last 40 starts. You see that?
That's correct. This is amazing. Since September 28, 2014, nobody has stolen against him.
That's crazy.
It is. 40 starts. They did have Escobar in motion there. Red Sox with a 2-1 lead. But it has grown tense here in the fifth inning. Tying run at third.
Tried to slip that fastball by him. 92 last pitch upstairs. He's throwing him everything here. Give him a changeup to start him off with. Let's see what he tries to put him away with.
The 1-2 to Cain. Here it comes. Ground ball to third. Down for it, Shaw, and in plenty of time to retire the side. He gets out of it despite a walk and a single. Top of the sixth inning as David Price wriggles away from the Kansas City Royals. Still 2-1 Boston. And it'll be Big Papi to lead it off. He is 0 for 2 tonight with a deep fly to the warning track in right field and a fly ball to center. Then Hanley Ramirez, who's batting out of the cleanup spot, and Travis Shaw. Red Sox looking for a little bit of room themselves right here with a 2-1 advantage. Trying to take one win in the series, and that is inside on David. He has never had a hit against Edinson Volquez. He's 0 for 8.
Boy, if he faced him enough, he'd take him. He just almost got him in the first inning.
Just missed. In for a called strike. With this game, David has now played in one more game than Ted Williams played in his career.
And how many home runs Ted ended up with? 521?
521. David has 513. Right to the first baseman, Hosmer. And Hosmer will make the play. One man gone. Tuesday on May 24th, that is David Ortiz Canvas Night at Fenway. The first 15,000 fans in attendance receive a David Ortiz commemorative canvas print courtesy of Enios. For tickets and information, visit redsox.com/promos or call 877 Sox 9. They saluted David here last night in the single game.
What is that canvas, like a painting or something?
I believe it is.
Yeah.
I want to see when we get on the charter in several hours if he is carrying that great big crate of barbecue sauce that they gave him. What do you think?
I've had enough barbecue sauce.
You have. I can vouch for that.
I don't want any more barbecue sauce.
Although I give you a lot of props. The other night when we were all having barbecue, our whole crew here in Kansas City, it's just off the charts. You were the one who ordered anything green for the table.
Yes. Broccoli I had. Just to stay in shape.
Just a couple of sprigs of
just to make you feel like you're doing something right.
And it was untouched.
Yeah.
But good for you. Hanley is 0 for 2. He's hit into a double play, and he's also grounded to short. He is 5 for 25 against Volquez, and that's a strike. This is David yesterday. Some gifts from Kansas City's last trip in here to face the Royals.
There's Volquez out there, guy he's trying to take deep tonight.
He's got Volquez with him, and he's facing right now in tonight's game, and there's a check swing, and Hanley did not offer. Two runs on 5 hits for the Red Sox, a run on 4 hits for Kansas City. Both the games have been well pitched today. Here's the 1-2. Bounded foul. Travis Shaw on deck. Home runs tonight for the Red Sox by Jackie Bradley and Mookie Betts.
Hanley takes his sweet time to get into the box, doesn't he? Speaking of a lot of time, 3-hour games.
Down into the dirt. We mentioned this yesterday that reviews are up something like 35% from last season, but Commissioner Manfred does not believe that that's the big part of the problem. He doesn't think so. Now the reviews that take 4 minutes have gotten out of hand. They've gotten ridiculous.
Yeah,
we've seen a few of those.
So what is it, the hitter's fault or the pitcher's fault? You know, I think the pitchers take, you know, a lot of time with guys on base. They really do. And then the hitters are still doing that, taking their time between each pitch.
You're supposed to always have a foot in the box. Never supposed to leave it.
He just left. He's taking his sweet time into the gloves. Not to pick on Hanley, but you know, it's just a perfect example of it.
Well, David Ortiz made the adjustment last year. We thought he would be fined into oblivion, but that didn't happen. He always kept a foot in the box, and he wound up having a great season at the plate. Breaking ball swung on and missed, and down he goes, strike 3. Time now for a game break, brought to you by Jordan's, the furniture store of the Red Sox. Here's TC. TC, thanks. Yeah, they got whipped last night 10-0. Different story. And here at Kauffman Stadium, Red Sox have a 2-1 lead. And Travis Shaw's the batter with the bases empty and 2 away. Travis has struck out looking and grounded to first base. He was 1 for 4 with a single in game 1. Josh Rutledge would hit next if given the opportunity here in the 6th. And it has gone to 3-0. So far, Volquez with a couple of walks. He walked Mookie Betts. He walked Xander Bogaerts. He's been a pretty solid customer the last couple of years, winning 13 games each season, one of those with the Pittsburgh Pirates. He is 4-3 at the moment with an ERA of 3.51. Good count for Travis Shaw. Here comes the 3-1. And a little bit high. That barely missed, but ball 4, so he's walked another man.
Well, his pitch count is down. I mean, they'd be already having somebody hot right now if that was the case. Nobody throwing in the bullpen.
So here's Rutledge. He has popped up to second and singled and stole a base against the combination of Volquez and Perez in the 4th inning. Although initially he was ruled out. He was called out by Bill Miller, second base umpire. I think there was some measure of revenge. That had to be a sweet feeling for John Farrell when it was overturned, because Bill Miller was the umpire who threw him out of the game in game 1.
You think he's thinking that?
Maybe just a little.
There you go, Bill. He was upset. He's been upset a lot with the umpires' strike zones.
You know, I think John actually got a couple of strikes for Stephen Wright after he came out in between innings and argued a bit with Clint Fagan. Nothing over the top, but you could tell that he was agitated.
If that's the ploy, I'm going to go there, and so maybe I'll get a break on a couple pitches for our pitcher.
Maybe.
He looked mad to me in the clubhouse today still from last night.
Yeah. And just missed off the edge at 93, and the count goes to 2-1 on Rutledge.
Borderline pitch right there.
Rutledge has been swinging a good bat. A chopper foul. Came in hitting .367. Red Sox in the lead 2-1 in the 6th.
Well, they needed a deep game out of this starting pitcher Volquez, after what they went through the last few days. 9 pitchers they used on Sunday. Luckily they had a day off with the rain out on Monday. Then they used the bullpen again to win the last couple of games.
Bradley on deck, 2 down. Shaw at first base in the 2-2. There's a shot drilled out to left. Merrifield backing up. He's turning around now, and that's high off the wall into third base, and stopping there as the throw comes into the plate. That's going to be a double for Rutledge.
Boy, that ball hit off the top of the wall, not very far from getting out of here.
That's his 2nd hit of the night, and the ballpark barely held it. His 6th double of the season.
He's going to get a good pitch hit. Ball sinking back over to him. He bails a little bit and smokes this ball. Merrifield out there has to turn his back to. He looks up, misses a home run by probably about a foot. Glad they held up Shaw right there, because he gets this ball back into Escobar, and he's got a gun. One hop to Escobar. He throws it in. Been a play at the plate. I thought he would have been out. Good call to hold him up, even though there were 2 outs.
So it's the 3rd 2-hit game of the season for Josh, and it'll bring up Jackie Bradley Jr. with 2 men in scoring position. He's belted a home run to run the hitting streak to 24 straight, and he's also struck out tonight.
Can't pitch to him, that's for sure.
And they will walk him with Vasquez, the next batter, due up. So a sign of respect to the hot bat of Jackie Bradley. It's going to load up the bases for Vasquez. But here comes ball 2.
Let Vasquez hit right here.
Jackie Bradley, the reigning American League Player of the Week. This is just the 2nd time in his career he has been intentionally walked. That makes all the sense in the world.
You could see it happening more often, especially if he gets up in the lineup like he is.
Yeah, batting in the 7th slot here tonight, and he takes his walk. So they are loaded for Vasquez, who has singled and whiffed.
Looked bad last time up, swinging at a slider, but he had a good at bat the first time up, base hit.
That punched a line drive over Infante at second base. No place to put him here.
Big at bat for Vasquez.
6th inning, 2-1. Red Sox trying to put a few more on the board here against Volquez. A walk, a double, and an intentional pass have filled them up. He takes ball 1. Peter Moylan going in their bullpen. Shaw, Rutledge, and Bradley filling up the bases, and the 1-0. And that's a ball. 2-0.
Not getting any help back there. Pitch is probably outside, but you've seen that pitch called the last couple of games. It's party time here. 2-0. He's got to go after him.
Should see a fastball, the 2-0 pitch, and a ground ball up the middle, and that'll squeak through for a base hit. Shaw is in, Rutledge is in, and Vasquez comes through big time there. The Red Sox had 2 more, and they lead it 4-1.
Well, he knew he was going to get a pitch to hit. That's all there was to it. 2-0. He's going to get a fastball to hit. Doesn't exactly mash this ball, but this is a C&I ground ball right back up the middle. Got it on the label a little bit and just squeaked through. You knew 2 runs are going to score easy on that. Jackie goes to third. A 4-1 game. Big hit.
Vasquez second single. Bradley down to third, and Brock Holt will climb in, trying to keep the line going. He has struck out and tapped out to second. 4-1 Red Sox. He checks, and that's a strike. Would be a great spot for him to bust out of the slump he's in. That has dragged his average down to 243 with 3 home runs. Bradley on and Vasquez on. Fouled away, and it's 0-2.
You saw that 1-0 pitch to Vasquez. You think about it. That pitch made the next pitch. If he had thrown that strike, make it 1-1, he probably goes to the breaking ball. At 2-0, he's got to throw him a fastball.
He was ready.
Yes, that is party time, man. Bases drunk. You got to go after him.
The 0-2 to Brock. Little dribbler, and Hosmer makes the play at first base and gets the out. Red Sox grab a couple of runs and a big hit from Vasquez. 4-1 Boston. The reason why the Red Sox and the rest of America run on Dunkin', because Dunkin' iced coffee is consistently smooth and delicious. Dunkin' Donuts coffee, #1 in New England. The Boston Red Sox run on Dunkin'. Big 2-run single by Vasquez has some breathing room for Price as we go to the last half of the 6th inning. Hall of Famer Dennis Eckersley alongside Dave O'Brien. Garen Austin with us as well. Red Sox leading 4-1. Hosmer has struck out and rolled to first base. So Price has held him out of the hit column. He's really been cooking for them.
I don't think Vasquez has put one sign down and he said yes yet. You know what I mean? There's no.
A lot of no's. Yeah, yep, I agree. And yet, Kansas City only has 4 hits.
A little change up to a left-hander.
Hosmer career just 2 for 11 against Price. And the count 1 ball, 2 strikes.
There you go. Only took 3. Gas away. Ooh.
Off the corner at 93. His pitching line is brought to you by Ace Ticket. 5+, 4 hits. Just the 1 walk. He's up to 81 pitches.
I'd have a hard time calling the game for him anyway. You really don't know. He's got a lot of things, a lot of weapons.
Routine ground ball right to Rutledge. And a fast out. And Hosmer's 0 for 3. That's a good start if you're going to beat Kansas City. Keep him off the bases.
He threw a cutter inside to him, started at him, finished off on the inside corner. He pulled off a little weak ground ball. Nicely done.
We check out what events are coming up at Foxwoods Resort Casino. As Morales gets in, he's doubled and struck out. Red Sox leading 4-1 here in the 6th. And hammered foul at home plate. Red Sox will be back at Fenway Park on Friday. No baseball tomorrow. X-Head will be hitting that soft pillow somewhere around 6 a.m. And the Red Sox open up a series against the Indians on Friday, followed by a 3-game series against Colorado. Morales tried to hold up, but it's in there for a strike anyway. Here's a closer look at that schedule. Red Sox with a big road trip after that homestand. Toronto and Baltimore. 4 games at Camden Yards, where the Orioles are very, very tough to beat. They've been terrific at home in particular.
Then back to Toronto again, coming into Boston.
Yeah, a lot of AL East.
10 games.
The Orioles are home tonight and winning, and they are 16-7 at Camden Yards. Red Sox are 14-8 at Fenway. Perez is up next. He's belted a home run tonight. Got a piece to hang in there. Morales just doesn't look real comfortable at the plate. He did double in the 2nd inning and a good looking swing there. And as you mentioned, from this side of the plate, he's looked a lot better.
Yeah, but he's got a kind of a funky way of going about it anyway.
Remember several years ago he hit a grand slam when he was with the Angels and shattered his ankle when he came around in a celebration at home plate.
Crunch.
Broken bat there. Shaw gobbles it up. And there are 2 down. Let's check in with Garen.
Well, Obi, the other day that you guys had mentioned that Salvador Perez likes to wear women's perfume. So I did some investigating and I talked to Christian Vasquez and I asked him if he's noticed during Perez at bats. Now Vasquez started laughing and said that is not something that I pay attention to, and he said no, he has not noticed any women's perfume.
Glad to hear it.
Well, he could smell them right now.
Yeah, he's that close. Perez with a home run and a fly out to left field. He says umpires notice it.
Well, catchers are known to be stinky individuals because of the gear. I mean, they really are.
It's funny though that he doesn't go with the Old Spice, you know. Just douse himself in Old Spice.
But he wants something really powerful.
Fly ball, but didn't get all of it. Here comes Jackie Bradley, and he makes the catch to make it a 1-2-3. Very easy inning for the ace. The 7th inning, and the starter is now out for Kansas City. Edinson Volquez. His pitching line is brought to you by your Eastern Lexus dealers. Red Sox got to him for 4 earned runs, 7 hits in 6 innings, and worked him for 97 pitches. He gives way to the bullpen, and Peter Moylan, a former Atlanta Brave who spent the majority of last year at the AAA level and made his Royals debut on Sunday. This bullpen brought to you by Kia.
Had some arm trouble in his career, had a couple of good years with Atlanta several years back, trying to make his way back, make his mark again in the big leagues.
A couple of good years with his tattoo artist as well. First one inside for a ball on Mookie Betts, who has doubled and cracked a home run. He's got some serious ink going.
Yeah, lost a few lbs last time I saw him. He looked like he was boiling.
Bogaerts and then Ortiz to follow. Moylan, the 4th Australian to play for the Royals. Talking about hitting streaks, of course, Jackie Bradley now at 24 consecutive games with his home run here tonight. Mookie Betts had the 2 longest hitting streaks for the Red Sox last year, 13 games and 18 games. So Jackie has catapulted right past. And a right-hander gets him to swing and miss. He makes quick work of Mookie there as he strikes out, 1 away in the 7th.
Yeah, a little down under, little frisbee piece. A little like O'Day.
Scott Alexander throwing in their pen. Hey, you made this point earlier that it sounds like everybody's throwing 100 miles an hour out there.
It does,
in either bullpen.
I know. I'm telling you, and it's not just because the mic's there. That's what it sounds like, really.
And you loved it.
I did, but it was scary because I thought I was bringing it, you know, and then you take it out to the mound and all of a sudden you don't hear that pop anymore.
Base hit for Bogaerts as he drills one through the hole. His first hit in the 2nd game after he had 2 in the 1st game. So Xander now 1 for 3 with a walk. And here comes Ned Yost. He wants the lefty to face David Ortiz. So in a moment we'll find out how hard he's actually throwing.
Sounded hard.
And so he will make the maneuver right now. So Red Sox on top, 4-1 in the 7th inning. We'll take the break. Alexander coming on, and we'll have more in just a moment. Is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Transparency, low fares, and nothing to hide. Dennis Eckersley, Dave O'Brien with you here from Kansas City. Red Sox 4 and the Royals 1. Kansas City a couple of men into their bullpen now. They're going to bring on the left-hander Scott Alexander to face David Ortiz with a runner at first base and one away. Made his major league debut last September. He was named their Omaha Pitcher of the Year at the AAA level last season. And so far a 159 earned run average. Big Papi 0 for 3 tonight. All of that against Volquez, the starter, who has departed the scene. David, in game 1 of the doubleheader earlier today, went 3 for 4. And he fouls one back with a mighty cut for strike 1.
Never seen a guy before. You're just hacking first pitch, slider up.
David tonight a fly to right field, very deep to the warning track. He's also fly to center. Man grounded to first base. Bogarts at first.
A modified shift really for David.
With a win tonight, the Red Sox would improve to 11-8 on the road. And he pokes that one foul. Now 0-2.
Back-to-back pitches that he can get to, kind of like hanging sliders.
That's what that look on his face indicated too.
Didn't it?
Hanging slider, and I didn't do anything with it.
Jumping all over it.
Ortiz with 7 home runs in his last 16 games. Alexander with the 0-2. And strike 3. Caught him looking, and David knew it. That is out number 2.
2 hanging breaking balls and gets away with a high sinker up in the zone. Barely catches the strike zone. He didn't try to throw it there. Salvador snatched that thing and bring it back down.
And Ramirez next, 0 for 3. He's bounced into a double play, grounded to short, struck out tonight, hitting .311. Bogarts the runner at first base, and ground ball deep short, through for a base hit. First and second. And that will allow Travis Shaw to swing in this inning as he looks for his first hit tonight. That is 9 Red Sox hits. So this has been a little more like it, a little more like this Red Sox offense we have grown accustomed to here in the second game.
I mean, you get carried away after a while after being home scoring 10 runs a game. That's crazy.
You knew that wasn't going to last.
Right.
That was just amazing. Averaging 10 runs a game over a 7-game homestand. It just doesn't happen.
But they'll get 10 hits just to stay in shape anyway. They've done that probably over, what, 25 times?
Dustin Pedroia is sitting this one out tonight, at least for the moment. Travis Shaw has struck out, grounded out, walked, and scored. He'll take strike one.
Still using that pink bat. Isn't that pink bat up there from Mother's Day bat?
The 0-1 pitch. Ground ball and foul off third. He's checking it now to see if he cracked it. If he can swing it any longer. And he's going to stick with it. With men on base, the Red Sox lead the majors in batting average, hitting .314. On base percentage, hits, slugging percentage, doubles, and home runs.
They lead the world
with men on base. He hangs in there, 0-2. And earlier tonight, with the home run by Jackie Bradley back in the second inning, the Red Sox have homered now in 19 consecutive games. That ties the franchise record. That one ran in right on the hands. Jackie Bradley with a 24-game hitting streak now. Last time up, they walked him intentionally. And then Vasquez, after that, loaded the bases, made them pay with a 2-run single up the middle. First and second, 2 out. That one misses in tight. Bogarts at second base. Hanley Ramirez on at first after they each singled. One-two coming. Popped him up. Out goes Infante. Kane coming in as all night to get there and makes the catch. Sox will strand 2. The fans will stretch now. 4-1 Boston.
One Red Sox going into the bottom of the 7th inning. We see the strikeout package here by David Price. 3 fastballs, 1 to Hosmer, 1 to Infante. And then you see Escobar go down swinging. Change up there to Morales. 4 punch-outs on the night for the ace of the Red Sox.
So here's our game summary brought to you by Xfinity. Price so far 6 innings. Mookie Betts 2 for 3 with a home run. Jackie Bradley 1 for 2 with a home run. Volquez knocked out of the game after 6. Salvador Perez with a home run, and so far that's the only damage that Price has allowed. Here's Cuthbert. He's flied out and flied out again. 0 for 2. 6, 7, and 8 here in the 7th inning. Cuthbert, right-hand hitter from Nicaragua. They brought up last year to make his major league debut. They recalled him when Mike Moustakas went on the DL on May 7th.
They missed Moustakas.
An all-star last year, drove in more than 80 runs. That foul tip catches Vasquez. He's grinning a bit right now, but
right in the forehead.
Right in the cage.
Stuck, yeah. Right down the middle off his forehead.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Just shake it off.
See if he goes to the sign. Yes. No. Change it. Fastball. Curveball. Slider. Oh my goodness. A little cutter down and in. That was ugly.
He's gone to 3-1 on him.
Go back to that cross seamer right down the middle. Just don't hit him in the forehead. There you go.
He's only walked one man. And another one fouled off him.
That's something.
Wouldn't you know it?
Every time he throws a fastball, it gets his bell rung.
That one went over the top of the screen and into the box seats.
At least it didn't stick like last time, right? A little glancing blow.
Oh,
ooh.
Yikes. So you want to be a big league catcher.
Gives him more signs. What do you want to do?
3-2 popped him up. Rutledge on the dirt. And one man out. Stay tuned for Red Sox Final presented by Plainridge Park Casino. TC Jim Rice, Steve Lyons will preview Clay Buchholz's start on Friday against the Indians. The game one of a 3-game series. They'll be taking on the former Cy Young winner Corey Kluber. The Red Sox beat on opening day.
He hasn't thrown that good this year.
No, he has an ERA of 4.30. Talking about Corey Kluber, he's 2-5.
Salazar's a guy who's been dealing, right?
Salazar, yeah.
Yeah.
A 1.80 ERA. He'll pitch on Sunday against Rick Porcello. The Red Sox have not announced who will go against Bauer on Saturday. Likely to be Joe Kelly, returning to the rotation.
Then Bauer got back in that rotation. Remember, he was in the bullpen start of the year.
That's correct. Fisted looper toward left center. Jackie Bradley.
Drop.
Here comes Holt. No, it will not. How about that play? A shoestring grab by Jackie Bradley. I'm with you. I thought it was falling in.
Oh, totally.
Outstanding play.
Yeah, almost a shoestring catch. I mean, he kind of casually got there. He didn't panic. He just came coming in, caught it easily for him. Right behind the back pass here. A little styling, huh?
That a boy, says Price.
Yeah.
He's got that GPS in the glove, so you're right. He never panics. 2 down. And Orlando, the batter, he has singled and taken ball 4. Red Sox ahead 4-1 in the last half of the 7th, and lashed foul out of play.
Pitch count looks pretty good. Less than 100. 7th inning. A little quick out here.
The Red Sox have had one complete game. It was an 8-inning complete game, but a complete game today by Stephen Wright, who pitched really well and took the loss in game 1. Backhanded by Bogaerts, off balance, got him. Side retired. That's back-to-back 1-2-3s for David Price. Baseball on NESN is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Transparency, low fares, and nothing to hide. A couple of men making their major league debuts tonight for the Kansas City Royals. The next guy is a pitcher, Alec Mills, who was just recalled this morning from Double-A Northwest Arkansas as the 26th man for today's split doubleheader. You can add a guy, and they have done that. And he's going to be heading right back to Northwest Arkansas at the end of the night.
I'll tell you what, he's got to be nervous. There's no doubt about that.
And facing Josh Rutledge, who has singled and doubled. Another good night at the plate for Josh, who takes ball one. Red Sox ahead 4-1 here in the 8th inning in KC. Trying to get out of town with a victory. Heading back to Fenway for Friday against the Indians. Jackie Bradley on deck. He took the drama out of the hitting streak in game number 2 with a home run that he blasted. Got out of here in a hurry in the 2nd inning, his first at bat. It was not the case in game 1 if you were with us. And if you were, thank you so very much for watching both games here on NESN. But in game 1, he waited till his last at bat, the 9th inning, and he did it against Wade Davis. Speaking of in a hurry, Alec Mills is in a hurry to get it and throw it.
Yes, he is. I would be too.
And he walks his first man, ball 4, and Rutledge is on for the 3rd time. I think you're right. Rather nervous in his major league debut, as well he should be. Well, here's Jackie. A home run, a strikeout, and he's been intentionally walked as well. 333. He's second on the club in RBIs now, with 32 behind David Ortiz, who has 34. And Mills taking a little more time with the man on, and deals a ball. And Salvador Perez, the veteran catcher, would like a word.
Things aren't going so well for Mr. Mills. Umpire squeezed him a couple of pitches to Rutledge.
And Friday at 6, don't miss Red Sox first pitch, presented by Joseph Abboud, available at Men's Warehouse. TC and Steve Lyons recap the Red Sox Hall of Fame inductees for 2016. The 1-0 he's taking, and that's a strike. Baltimore has won. They defeated Seattle 5-2 at Camden Yards tonight. Tampa Bay defeated Toronto 6-3. Down and in on Jackie.
Mills is featuring nothing but sinkers that just don't happen to get all the way to the plate.
Vasquez had a huge hit back in the 6th inning. He's up next. Here's the 2-1. Popped up, fouled off third base, but no play. That's off into the seats. Jackie, during this 24-game hitting streak, has 28 RBIs. So extremely productive.
Reeve has his hand so high with that bat. That bat looks bigger than he is.
Here's the 2-2. And a base hit into right field. Rutledge taking off, rounding second. He's heading into third. He'll stop there, sliding in. Second hit of the night for JBJ.
Yeah, what new for Bradley Jr. Another hard hit ball in the hole. Hosmer's holding on the runner, gets a breaking ball down and in, pulls it right past Hosmer. First and third here with nobody out.
And Dave Island, the pitching coach, will pay a mound visit. None of this is surprising Jackie himself. when you talk to him about the hitting streak, he's very casual about it. It's as if he's hitting 4 straight instead of 28 in a row.
I don't think he's ever really lost his confidence in himself. I mean, there's times when everybody else did. I mean, when he was hitting 100 for a month at a time.
He has made some adjustments, but right now the American League is not adjusting to him, and he is knocking them all over the place.
I mean, he gets to a pitch and he hits it hard somewhere, and you use the whole field. He's not like a home run hitter. I mean, he's going to run into some home runs. I mean, he could hit, he could capable enough to hit 20 home runs.
He has hit his 7th as of tonight. Christian Vazquez looking for his 3rd hit. He is 2 for 3. Nobody out, 2 on. And pop foul out of play. The Red Sox once again have gotten into double digits in hits. They have 10 hits.
Once again.
Rutledge on and Bradley on. John Farrell has said it several times, you know, when the Red Sox are really swinging the bats like they did on the homestand, just kind of stay out of the way.
There he goes.
There goes Bradley, and it's spoiled and knocked foul out of play by Christian Vazquez.
Bradley has yet to be thrown out stealing a bag in his career. Boy, he picks his spots.
Oh, 2 on Vazquez. And that big 2 RBI single in the 6th inning with the bases loaded to give the Sox some room. Chopped off the plate. Cuthbert in. Throws on to first and got him as the run comes in to score. That was a bang bang play. We'll see if the Red Sox challenge on it, but it is 5-1 Boston. And it is another RBI for Vazquez, which will be his 3rd in the game. But the Red Sox, who won a challenge earlier, having a play overturned at second, will challenge again on this play at first. And if this is overturned, it'll be a base hit.
Yes, that Vazquez thought he beat it out. You see Hosmer kind of leaving early. He's safe.
He thinks so.
Most of the time, the players, you know, they know because they hit that bag. Ooh, that's a close one right there. Surprised Hosmer didn't go out there and stretch a little bit more to get that ball. I didn't think he was going to have a play on it to begin with. That ball was chopped so high, he waited for a little short hop to land.
Not a run scoring in any event, regardless if he is out or safe, and the Red Sox have taken a 5-1 lead. Let's see if he can pick it up here. I'm not so sure.
Looks like he's out on that shot.
On that one, it looked like the foot was kind of hovering over the bag as the baseball had disappeared into Hosmer's mitt. And that comes back to, do you have enough evidence to overturn the call? But we'll see. Red Sox have already won one tonight. And when you do that as a manager, when you win a challenge, get to maintain a challenge the rest of the night, they will rule them out. But he gets an RBI on it. He's driven in 3. And that'll send up Brock Holt, who is in dire need of a hit. Been a really good night for the Red Sox catcher, Jackie Bradley, at second base. Brock is 0 for 3. He's grounded out twice and struck out. And trying to warm up again. And he pops it up on the infield. And Escobar will put that away easily. And it's tough going right now for Brock Holt.
Yeah, he can't buy a break here.
Well, Friday at 6:30, don't miss Red Sox Game Day Live presented by DCU. TC and Steve Lyons will preview the important upcoming start for Clay Buchholz. DCU, Digital Federal Credit Union. What can DCU save you? Here's Mookie Betts now with a double and a homer. He's got 2 for 3. Hit his 7th home run of the season in the 3rd inning. And he looks at a ball. Xander Bogaerts would hit next if given the opportunity here in the 8th inning. Red Sox have scored again. And Mills with a 1-0 pitch. Breaking ball, pop foul out of play. Red Sox took a loss in game 1, 3-2. Hanley Ramirez flied to deep center field at the end of the game in the 9th inning. Last play of the game with a runner on. Otherwise it could have gone another way. Wright was outstanding. A complete game. He allowed only 5 hits. And that one hits him. And Mookie had nowhere to go, nowhere to hide there, trying to dance out of the way, but that drills him. Tough way to reach base for the 4th time.
You got this rookie on the mound, not knowing where he's throwing the ball. That was a serious misfire, kind of right in the elbow. Hate to see that. He has no padding there. Like, see, Jackie has that padding, but Mookie doesn't. I don't know why everybody doesn't wear that elbow guard.
He may start.
Yeah, tomorrow.
Is Xander now. He has walked, grounded out, hit into a double play in singles. So he's 1 for 3. Red Sox leading 5-1. And leaning on some more maybe right here. .339 for Xander Bogaerts. And he's run his hitting streak to 13 in a row. Ortiz waiting on deck. And it's high and tight. Boy, he's all over the place.
Yeah, this kid's kind of lost out there.
His major league debut, he's allowed a hit, a walk, and he's hit a batter here in the 8th inning. Runners leading at first and second with 2 away. And the 2-0 pitch makes it 3-0.
He's trying to throw a ball right down the middle, and it's up and in.
And trouble on deck.
Boy, he's licking his chops on deck.
Jackie dancing off of second base, and that is inside for ball 4. That was nowhere near. Now the bases are loaded, and here comes Ned Yost. He will watch no more. That fills him up for David Ortiz. And the Red Sox trying to put this one out of the question tonight. The youngster Mills certainly wild. They go to the bullpen. We'll be back with more in just a moment from Kansas City. People's United Bank. Eck, let's see what topics people can vote on to hear you talk about tonight on NESN Sports Today. Jackie Bradley, 100% on a hitting streak, extending that. Text your answer. Well, now starting to change a little bit. Solid night for Price. Text your answer to 536 536. Message and data rates may apply. Now the bases are loaded up here for David Ortiz. Chien-Ming Wang coming out of their bullpen, a veteran who made his first major league appearance since August of 2013, back on April 9th against Minnesota. Kansas City, his 7th organization since 2013, including the Yankees, the Blue Jays, the Reds, White Sox, Braves, and Seattle.
I give him credit for that perseverance. You know, you think about it, this guy's a 19-game winner with the Yankees a couple of years in a row.
2 down, and the first pitch is in there for a strike on Big Papi, who's had an 0 for 4 night so far.
You know, Big Papi's faced him many, many times.
Red Sox with a man at every base. Bradley, Betts, and Bogarts. David likes what he sees typically. And the fastball at 93 inside.
Yeah, pretty good velocity. David's seen him 37 times. He's hitting 432 off of him with 2 bombs.
Could not wait to get up there.
Yeah, no kidding.
Bases jammed with 2 down. Red Sox ahead 5-1 in the 8th. They can break it open right here. Ground ball to first base, a little topper, and Hosmer handles that to retire the side. Red Sox do add a run. We go to the bottom of the 8th, 5-1 Red Sox. NESN's brand new site for car enthusiasts. It's called NESN Fuel, your new home for everything automotive. Visit NESNfuel.com and follow NESN Fuel on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram today. Last half of the 8th inning of Game 2 of the doubleheader, and the Red Sox have not used the bullpen all day or night.
That's amazing.
Now they have activity in the pen right now. Lane and Tazawa.
He's hit 100 pitches right on the nose right now.
Merrifield the batter, and he looks at a strike. He beat out an infield hit back in the 5th inning. That's the only hit that Price has allowed in the last 3 innings.
Boy, he just moves it in and out, doesn't he? Fastball in, fastball away, cutter, changeup, you name it.
He has set down 8 straight.
Oh.
And foul tipped off Vasquez, who's been getting drilled back there.
He could take it in the chest, not in the forehead.
Price tossing a 4-hitter. Escobar on deck. Oh, 2 pitch. It popped up, but that'll twist foul out of play.
All goes well for Price. He'll be 6-1 when this game is over. Forget about the ERAs. Before you know it, he has a couple of good games and the ERA will come down. All is forgotten.
He's only coughed up 1 run tonight so far. The home run by Perez. 1-2. Looking for the strikeout of the youngster making his major league debut tonight. And he gets it. Swing and a miss by Merrifield for the K.
5th K on the night. A little change up to Merrifield. Change up in the dirt.
And the top of the order now for the Royals, and Alcides Escobar. He was a strikeout victim in the 3rd. He's 0 for 3. Fine defensive shortstop. And he looks at the first one in there for a strike. Won his first Gold Glove last year. Has one of the strongest arms in baseball at his position. Grew up in Venezuela, idolizing Omar Vizquel. Remember the story of Omar Vizquel on the last out of somebody's no-hitter, routine ground ball, little 2-hopper.
Barehanded it.
Barehanded it. How about that for confidence?
That is something.
Got to be kidding me. Made the play. That one torched into left center field. That's going to drop down deep in the alley. Holt will scoop and fire. And into second base is Escobar with a double. Lorenzo Cain on the way up next. And let's see what John Farrell has in mind here.
Well, he's going to go get him. He's not messing around. Can't imagine him going out there saying, "How do you feel, huh?" I mean,
look at Price. He has his back to him.
Right.
And only now turns around as the call is made. So that's all for David Price. Certainly did his job tonight.
Very, very nicely done. Mixed it up all over the place. Didn't walk anybody, right?
He did. He walked one man.
One guy, right? 5 punch outs, yeah.
And leaves with a 5-1 lead.
Did what he had to do.
Indeed, it'll be Tazawa coming in. So he goes to the right-hander. We'll take the break and be back with more in just a moment. free, easy to use. Visit NESSONClubhouse.com today. Red Sox in front 5-1 and go to the bullpen for the first time during the course of this doubleheader to Tazawa, who's been very tough with a 1.72 ERA.
Yes, he has. Had his fastball all season long. I don't know how many times he's come out of the bullpen. First pitch to a right-handed hitter starts him off with a hook, doesn't he?
Curveball all the time. It's like no one's really caught on yet. We'll see if Kane does. 1 out runner at second base. Kane has gone 0 for 3. Runner at second base is the responsibility of the departed David Price. 7 1/3. 5 hits, 1 run so far. And fastball this time.
Yeah, so much for that.
Hosmer on deck. Escobar just doubled the last batter that Price faced. Red Sox looking for the split of the doubleheader. And Tazawa with the 0-1 pitch. A little bit low, according to Pat Hoberg.
He's had a fairly small zone compared to what we've seen. It's a nice job right there. You talk about, once again, close to 70% strikes. That's what he does. I mean, he throws a lot of strikes. Mixes it up.
The 1-1 hammered in there at 92.
Tazawa out there grunting fastballs. Hear him grunting from here. Pause and that little
Kane without a hit here in game 2. And a 1-2 from Tazawa. Got a piece of it. Red Sox coming home to face the Cleveland Indians at Fenway Park on Friday. Clay Buchholz against Corey Kluber. Game time at 7:10. Saturday at 4:05 and then Sunday at 1:35 for John Farrell's team against John's old team. Cleveland Indians used to pitch for.
Front office for.
Yes. 1-2 bounced up there as he went with the split.
Well, he's got this grunting thing going on tonight, doesn't he? Every pitch.
2-2. Tommy Lane is all heated up if necessary, with Hosmer on deck.
You wonder if this is his only hitter.
That dipped a little bit low. That missed at 93, so it's a full count. This could start to get very interesting if he walks him here with a home run hitter on deck. Right now 5-1 Red Sox, feels fairly comfortable, but these are the defending world champions. They have had a reputation of being able to come back. They did it in the postseason last year.
Boy, that is a long look for a sign.
3-2 up the middle. That'll be a base hit. Escobar taken off around third, and he's going to score without a play at the plate. That makes it 5-2. Lorenzo Cain with the RBI single. So that tightens it up here in Kansas City. Charge that run to Price and close the book on David.
This is fastball middle, just ground ball up the middle. If Tazawa can't get it, nobody can. Escobar is going to score easily. They're going to stick with Tazawa even though Lane is ready to face Hosmer.
So Hosmer steps in. He's 0 for 3. He has struck out, grounded to first, and grounded to second. One man away and a run in. And the crowd coming to life here. This is a guy who's hurt the Red Sox twice with home runs in this series.
See the numbers there off of Tazawa. You're looking ahead farther down this lineup. You know, Morales is not swinging the bat good left-handed. You want to keep him there.
The 1-strike pitch. Low. Kane on at first base. Tazawa throwing over. Hoping to double up Hosmer and end the inning. But a run is in for Kansas City. Red Sox, when leading after 7, are 22-1 this season. The 1-1. Lined out to right, heading back Mookie Betts. Plenty of space to make that. He's going to throw back to first base. Got a chance.
Yes.
They doubled him up. Kane went too far, and the Red Sox are out of the inning. Mookie Betts with an outstanding play, and he's fired up. 5-2 the score. To the 9th inning, and in a base running mistake by Lorenzo Cain, the Red Sox catch a big time break. Although an outstanding play by Mookie Betts with that throw to first base.
Yeah, really, I didn't think he had enough on it to get it to first base, but a big mistake by Lorenzo Cain. Down by 3 runs, getting doubled up.
Yeah, where was he going? Well, here's Hanley Ramirez as we go to the 9th inning. 5-2 Red Sox. A chopper to third, and Cuthbert will fire on. Back to the double play.
Sounds like he hit it pretty good, but a little top spin on it. Mookie gets it. He knows he's got a shot at first base. One hop. Hanley there. And he is loving this Tazawa. Look, he's ringing everybody up. But he hurried up and got this ball back in. One hop to Hanley and got him. Just got him.
I got to believe, to your earlier point, that Cain thought it was hit deeper. that it was over his head.
Yeah.
That's why he was caught off so badly.
When he heard the sound of the bat, he thought he got it. You know, like it was over his head, smoked it or something, but he didn't.
Travis Shaw now. Travis 0 for 3, but he has drawn a walk and scored a run in this one. Red Sox leading the way with 5 runs, 10 hits, and they have Kimbrel going in the bullpen. And that sounded like 115.
We know it's at least 97.
Yeah. Really enjoyed your conversation with him that we ran in the pregame tonight about closing and about what it means to be the guy. Body language.
Yeah.
You guys were fascinating about body language and selling it even if you don't feel that good on a given night.
Most of the time, you know, somebody's going to tell you if he wasn't talking to me, he might have said something else. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he gets it. And that's what I like about this kid. He really gets it. And he wants it. And he's humble, you know, and it's nice to get him talking, because I don't think he does a lot of talking. I mean, he tries to be, I don't know if he's shy or not, but he doesn't want to be a braggart or anything, but the guy's awesome.
Just wants to go out and do it.
Yeah. I brought up the Hall of Fame with him. He was almost like, oh God, don't go there.
Yeah, don't touch that.
Don't you dare touch that. You know, it's just a compliment, you know, if his career keeps going.
I mean, I think you could make a very solid argument. The last 5 years, he's been the best closer in baseball.
Yeah, he's been better numbers than Mariano Rivera. But he did it for 20 years.
Yeah,
I mean,
1-2 to Shaw is down and in. Yeah, they'll take some time.
He's got a long ways to go, but boy, the dominance is ridiculous. The strikeouts that he's put up.
Rutledge next. He's searching for his 3rd hit tonight. Red Sox ahead 5-2. And a swing and a miss, and that's it for Travis Shaw as he strikes out. 2 down in the 9th. Sunday night on an all-new Charlie Moore Outdoors, Charlie heads to Panama fishing in the jungle. Catch that and more on Charlie Moore Outdoors Sunday night at 6:30. To be a great closer, what's the #1 thing you can't do without?
Wow. Confidence. I mean, you could say that about anything, right?
But I would bet in that position, you have to have a short memory too.
I never did. I didn't. I wore it, man. I did. Couldn't sleep. Couldn't. You know, I mean, it's not an easy thing to do. It's such a responsibility. You just feel like you failed the club, man. It's tough.
Infante, little high throw, but in time to get him. Side is retired. Confidence indeed. Here comes Kimbrel. 5-2 Boston. this year. Bob will donate $1,000 to the Jimmy Fund for every game saved this season. Everybody saves at Bob's, the only choice for untouchable furniture value. Available in store or at mybobs.com. Kimbrel trying to tie for the top spot in saves in the American League, a .265 earned run average. And he will get Morales, Perez, and Cuthbert, the scheduled batters here in the bottom of the ninth. Red Sox ahead 5-2. They're going to split the doubleheader. First one at 96 is flick foul by Morales, who's doubled, struck out, and grounded to third base. Kimbrel with 10 saves, 28 strikeouts in 17 innings.
It's about norm for him.
Morales batting lefty and checks, and it's down and in.
He had a string of about 50-something games in a row that he struck out a batter. That's hard to do. I mean, he must get really disappointed when he doesn't strike somebody out.
The 1-1. Foul tipped into the mid. 97 on the gun.
This ball kind of rises a little bit. An illusion.
Trying to lock this one up, and a victory for David Price, who went 7 1/3. Down and in, and got him on the foot. So Morales is going to be on, a hit batsman, to begin the bottom of the ninth inning.
Yeah, you sure don't want to do that. I mean, you don't want to walk him, you don't want to hit him. You got a 3-run lead. This breaking ball starts off inside. He's got nowhere to go. Hits him in the toe. That's the thing that helps. You know, when you do have some control issues that Kimbrel can have, you know, he can walk some guys, but he's so capable of punching guys out to get out of this mess that he makes sometimes.
Here's Perez. He's blasted a home run back in the fourth inning. He's 1 for 3 tonight. Certainly a double play candidate. Kimbrel with a .163 career earned run average. And that'll be ball one. That is the lowest by a reliever in Major League history among those with 250 or more appearances in the history of Major League Baseball.
Well, they never used to do this, you know, this 1 inning stuff 100 years ago. Whoa. It's like he's swatting flies. That is a weird swing.
1-1.
Disappeared.
Morales at first base and nobody out. Ground ball might be 2. Bogarts to Rutledge 1. High throw, but in time to get him in a double play. And just like that, 2 gone in the ninth inning.
That's a beautiful thing. You know, a runner like Perez can't run. He hits a chopper up the middle. You know, he got time. Rutledge has got time. Bogey flips it to him. Finds the bag. Easy double play.
So 1 more out to get. The Red Sox will earn a victory here in the nightcap of the doubleheader. Is Cuthbert. He's 0 for 3. 5-2 Boston.
You know, Kimbrel's looking for a punch out. He's got to have a strikeout.
You guys are all alike. That flair for the dramatic. And a strike at 98. So he is set up for one to end the night. It has been a long day and night here in Kansas City. Red Sox looking for the split and are 1 strike away.
Hard as you can, down and away.
1 ball, 2 strikes, bases empty, and 2 down. Red Sox with a 3-run lead.
He throws him a breaking ball. It'll buckle him.
If he swings, he may screw himself into the ground. Kimbrel with a 1-2. He did go with a breaking ball, but he missed with it. 2-2.
Little tight breaking ball, but just too far down and away. Back to that again.
They jerked it a bit. Count 3-2.
He does that a lot. He jerks the ball away a lot to right-handers.
Red Sox anticipating some handshakes here. The 3-2 pitch. And there it is. At 97, he strikes him out to end it. And the Red Sox win it by a final score of 5-2. And they love to get together and dance a bit in the outfield. And they've got this down to a science.
Oh, that's something different right there.
That's a little different.
That's a little different.
Well, complete post-game coverage coming up. Red Sox with a nice tidy win. David Price with the W. And Kimbrel closing.